Hi crafters, this is Mai here. Today what we are going to do is we are going to assemble our layered fall apple cider jug. I'm going to be using my art glitter glue for all of my gluing, and I've also got some tweezers here handy. And I also have some ribbon here. I haven't decided which one I might use to kind of wrap around the lid area or the neck of my jar. I haven't even decided yet if I want to even do it, but I have it here just in case. And if I do, I also have my hot glue gun that is warming up off camera. So here's what we're gonna do to get started. What I want you to do is after you get yours cut, I want you to stack yours up in the layers. So you can see that that's what I've already done. I've got all of my layers here and I've stacked them up so that way I can kind of visualize and see each layer that's underneath. And I also have these three little pieces here off to the side. These pieces are my apple slice that I'm gonna stick kind of right here off in the center. This one, it's by itself, so it's not really connected to any of the paper. And so I just wanted to make sure that we kind of had something there because it seemed like it felt just a little bit alone. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've added a little bit of glue to the back of the black. And I'm going to stack this or layer it right on top of this red layer piece here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hold it between my fingers and just kind of use my fingers to line it up right in the center. So let's see, let's use it this way. So you can see that it's lined up right there in the center. And then I'm going to do the same thing here with the tan piece of the apple. And so there's kind of three layers to this apple. You've kind of, when you cut the apple, I was thinking too much there. But when you go ahead and you cut an actual apple, you'll see almost those three pieces here. You'll see the skin of the apple, the center of the apple, and then sometimes you can even see the seeds of the apple. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna line that kind of fleshy part of the apple right on top of the black, so that way only those seeds are visible through. And so I'm just going to leave that right here to the side. And now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start to glue. So I'm going to work my way from the top down this time. Normally I would go from the bottom to the top, but I'm going to start from the top down only because I just kind of want to make sure that I'm getting everything glued here. So I'm just going to go around and add glue to all of the pieces that are exposed on this brown layer here. And I'm going to go in there and get in between the letters because it's going to be really important because we want to make sure that our letters stick down as well and that none of them kind of peel up accidentally. Okay. So I'm just going to get all of these little pieces here. And as you can see, I'm holding it now between my fingers. And what I'm going to do is kind of hold all of the pieces here between my fingers and then just use my fingers as a guide to line everything up. And you can see that it'll line up pretty quickly and easily when you are holding it between your fingers there. And then I'm just gently pressing everything down. Now, your acetate layer. I'm going to stick my acetate layer right underneath my yellow layer. But in theory, if you want, you could actually stick it underneath the red layer of the apple. So there's going to be two spots and I'll show you when we get a little bit more to the bottom, but I'm going to stick mine here underneath my yellow layer. And so I'm doing the same thing. I'm just adding a little bit of glue here all around. You don't want to go too crazy because with this acetate layer, you don't want the glue to really kind of seep through here. So again, I'm holding it between my fingers. You can kind of see it here. It's probably clear, so it might be a little difficult, but you should be able to see the light shining through or at least reflecting back. And I'm going to do the same thing in just holding it between my fingers and kind of using my fingers as the guide to line it up and get it in that correct spot. Okay, so you can see it right there, and then you can see all of my glue on the back here. All right, so now for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch to this tan layer here because if I start adding glue to this one, well, I guess what you could do is just try to make sure that you're adding glue well, I guess we could still do it that way. So let's just do it that way then. We're just going to add glue to everywhere that we can see the yellow bits on the acetate layer. So I'm just going to go through here and only on the yellow parts, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hold it this way because I like to work with my right hand first, but really either way will work. And I'm going to hold it here and just line it up right there like that. And so you can kind of see it that way. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to keep working from the top down. And so I'm just going to go through and add glue now to everywhere that I can see like this core part of the apple. Or not the core, I should say, because the core is the center, the fleshy part of the apple. So I added my glue there, same thing as before. I'm going to line this up and then just press it down. Same thing now. I'm just going to add some more glue to the black layer. Making sure that I'm getting here too with the apple. I got a little bit there and I don't have a paper towel, so I'm going to use my weeding tool here and just kind of scrape this off and see if I can. Let's see. Got a little paper towel right here, only because I've got a little bit of glue that's right on that part, and I don't want that to stay because it's on the acetate layer. It'll be a little bit more visible. I've got a little bit right down here too, so I'm just going to try and wipe it away. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to glue this down to the red. And now with the red, there's just a little bit that's going to peek through. So you can kind of see it. This is where I had my glue, but you can kind of see just a little bit of the red is peeking through. Now, this is where if you wanted to and you didn't want to add your acetate layer after the yellow, you could add it after this one if you want. But before we glue this one down, we kind of want to make sure that we add in this extra piece of our apple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back of it. And then I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want it to go. So just kind of place it there. And then I'm going to place it right there. And then I'm going to line it up and just check to make sure that I like where it is. And that looks great. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some more glue to the red layer here, the back of the red layer, all the way around. And then I'm going to press this one down right on top of the juice layer. Now, this is where you could kind of really use any shade of like an orange or a burnt brown, or a burnt orange, I should say, or maybe some kind of brown to represent your cider color. There's a lot of room for you to, you know, use your own choice of cardstock and, you know, add your own flair to it there. All right, so I'm adding glue now to this, the back of the juice layer, or the cider layer, I should say. And then I'm going to line it up and then press it down there. Okay. And now we've got just our final layer here. I'm just adding, again, a good bit of glue here to the back. And so again, too, like just with the juice layer, you wanted to use maybe different colors. You could really have fun with some of these other layers too, by throwing in like some pattern cardstock or even maybe some shimmer cardstock. Lots and lots of possibilities. Okay, and so once you have it there, that's it. So you can stop here if you want. I just haven't decided. I've been trying to think about like, do I want to kind of add a little bit of ribbon here to kind of give it like just a little bit of a look. I don't know. This is where almost alive would be fun. I don't know if I like that one. I feel like because it's apples, it should be red, but I didn't want to use a solid. And then I felt like the orange would go more better with the brown, but then this black and white one kind of looks like pumpkin color. So I don't know. You guys leave me a message. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'll go back and add it. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So, but let me know what you think. Let me know if you decided to add a ribbon. Maybe you guys have a different one in your stash. I don't know. But hopefully you guys enjoy this craft. Be sure to like the video, come subscribe to the channel, and I hope you have fun crafting. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye now.